Yo, from Kenya, East Africa, MORAA speaking truth. You feel me? Time to clear the air, set things straight. Let's go!
Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing great. Now it's early in the morning, there's no electricity, but reaction must continue. With or without power. Power will find us, ahead. I know I've been missing in action. I've not been on the streets for like 3 days. I was in the village. We lost a cousin, but it's life. So we are back and we continue from where we left. So I have seen a video by 𝐴𝐴𝐾𝐒. Guys, 𝐴𝐴𝐾𝐒 has come out to condemn Marwa. In fact, 𝐾𝐒 is saying that we are here on the street. Marwa is going to be facing misfortune after another. One after another. All because he has denied his father. His father being Mzee Kohera. So 𝐾𝐒 has come out to say that Marwa has made the biggest mistake of his life. Who does that? How dare he does something like that? This is your father, regardless, he is the one who is your blood. Guys, 𝐾𝐒 was getting emotional once again. I don't know why, when it comes to Kohera, 𝐾𝐒 really gets emotional. So once again, 𝐾𝐒's talking about this issue of Kohera and Marwa. 𝐾𝐒 could not contain herself, Emotions, got the best of her. And she just didn't know what to do, guys. This witch, she really amuses me. Because these emotions of hers are so selective, She normally knows how to act. 𝐾𝐒, you're a good actor. But then again, you're not really good. Because we can see what you're trying to do. So you are the one who will come and tell Marwa, what to do, how to live his life, what will happen to him, what kind of misfortunes he's gonna face, just because of Mzee Kohera. Guys, I am not downplaying issues of fatherhood, but I feel like 𝐾𝐒 is out of order. 𝐾𝐒 does not know what she is saying. 𝐾𝐒 has just come out here to do content, and 𝐾𝐒, it is very wrong to come out here and do content with people's emotions, and you are the chief manipulator. You guys keep talking here, Marwa taught people how to manipulate the environment, and you are the one who is really, manipulating this environment. But the bad thing is that you're not even doing it well. If you want to manipulate an environment, at least try and be good at it. Don't just come out here and just do crazy stuff, talk nonsense, pretend to be emotional, and think that everything is going to be okay, that people now going to trust what you're saying. Guys, before we get into this 𝐾𝐒 shenanigans, contenting here with Marwa and Kohera. And guys, you all should realize 𝐾𝐒 has been, not having content. 𝐾𝐒 has been contentless. So now she wants to jump on this story and try to make money out of it. You are so shameless, 𝐾𝐒. This is not the kind of thing that you do. Shame on you. Guys, let us talk about Mayugno. And talking about Mayugno, this thing is actually connected. And when I was watching Mayugno, after watching 𝐾𝐒, I actually felt like these stories are kind of connected, because Mayugno has come out to talk about how he came out to the streets and told the whole world that he had paid school fees, for his child, Precious. And this child was supposed to start in January, when the schools opened in Kenya. So Mayugno waited for the child to come back so that she can go to school, but the child never showed. What happened is that Mayugno spent Christmas with his daughter Precious. Now, for New Year's, the mother came and said, I think she came on, should have been around 30th, of December. And she came and said, Mayugno, I want to take my daughter so we can celebrate the New Year's with her. You celebrated Christmas with her. So, let me also celebrate the New Year's with my daughter. And Mayugno came out here and did a video, talked about how this woman wants to take the child away from him, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I came out and reacted and I said, that is the mother. She has a right to take her child and also spend a holiday with her. Now, according to Mayugno, the child was supposed to be returned to him so that the child can go to school. But this never happened. Up to date, Mayugno says he does not know where his child is. He says that he has looked everywhere, he has asked around, and nobody seems to know. He also says that he spent is it $300, around 40,000 shillings, on the school fees, and now the money has burnt, pesa imeungua, at school. And he has come out to say that, they have refused to refund him this money. They are saying that the money is in the system. And I don't know if it's in the system, it has disappeared, I don't know. So they are saying that they cannot refund him the money. So Mayugno is claiming to have gone at a loss, twice. Number one, his money, and number two, he cannot see his daughter. He does not know where his daughter is. Guys, let's listen to Mayugno and then we come back.
Because I'm a father also, remember. For my daughter, because I don't see my daughter. I don't know where she is. I don't know what's really going on about my daughter. And it sometimes make me feel pain. Sometimes, guys, I'm really trying my best to come on the camera to explain myself, especially to I feel pain, guys. As a human, you can feel pain to have your daughter, to have your, how can I say, you have your family, and in terms of you to start fail to care about your family, and you find things are not work well. Probably, especially me, I'm going through a lot in terms of the family issues. Because you found my daughter, she was here in a few days ago, and her mom took her that they're going to celebrate in date 1 to open the year. But since that day, I've never seen my daughter. I've never get any reported about her. Even I have sent money for her mom. When that day they went, the next day follow, I sent to her mom money. Since that day, I didn't get any report about my daughter. And I come on social media, explain to my people what happened and what's really going on. I went there even to see my daughter if I can get her back, because in that time I've already paid the school fee to the school. Even I got there 3 times in the school to ask them to bring my money back. They say my money has already get in the system, so they could not pay back. Of school of which my daughter was supposed to go, they pay 40,000 in a year. So I paid 3 terms, of which was remain 1 terms for me complete the payment, and because there was allow me already my daughter to start the school. But it is how painful now. I don't know I don't get any reported about her, and even I came on social media and I tell my people that I think it will be good for me to do DNA test. But for now, I don't know even who I can do with her DNA test, because the person who I support to do with, especially of which is my daughter, I don't see her. I don't know where she is. Her mom, I don't know. I went there where they lived before in Tanzania, where there was rental. I didn't see anyone. I don't know, maybe they are there, because I tried to ask some of the neighbors. They tell me there was there. I don't see anything. So
Mayugno, guys, if you ask me, I feel like there's no way Mayugno can say that he does not know where his child is. If he wants to find his child, he will find her. That's for sure. Guys, you cannot tell me. Somebody will disappear in here with my child in this Nairobi, and they're living I don't know where, and I don't find them. I will find them somehow. There's no way. Even the very first time, when Mayugno came up with that story of, oh, I couldn't find my daughter, blah, 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 guys. I am told Mayugno, the child was living right across, the border. Somewhere so near, a place that is so near around there. If he wanted to ask around nicely, he would have found where his child and this baby mama are. But if you go and ask one person, two people, and they tell you they don't know, and then you go back and say, I don't know where they are. No. You've got to spend your resources and your time to look for something that you value. Oh, yes. So this coming to the camera and say, oh, I don't know where they are, oh, I'm appealing to those people who have made them hide. I guess Mayugno means the donors. He is convinced that the donors, guys, I'm also convinced. For this one, I agree with Mayugno 100%. I believe that there are people behind this. I don't believe that this girl, this lady, Wema, this is her plan, like she is doing this all by herself. No, because I am pretty sure this child is in a school, another school. And guys, remember when I did my previous reaction, I said that maybe this child is in the previous school that she was at, the school where the donors were paying, the previous school. Has Mayugno gone there? And Mayugno came to tell us here that he went, I don't know where, and found the names of the child, have been changed. So at least he went to a school and found that. Which school is this that he went to? Anyway, guys, I'm not even going to get into all that. Because my thing is, if I start to really chambua, get into details about this, clearly, my conclusion is, Mayugno can find his daughter. He doesn't need to come out here to the streets to be telling stories, And number two, Mayugno, you can get your money back. Money in the system. What do you mean? Guys, I do not know of any school. Because, I'm saying this because some of these things have happened. I've seen these kinds of things happen, and I have worked in institutions where people pay fees or something like that. So I know that school fees can be refunded, especially if the student never showed. What are you talking about? They told you the money is already in the system. Yes, maybe that's what they told you. But there's a procedure. Guys, what I know is this. There must be a procedure of getting the money back. Nobody will just give you money, pop. Because nowadays things are done systematically. Things are done online. Things are put in the system. So obviously there has to be sort of, a process, and because this is money. Money issues are very sensitive. But if you clearly prove, which is obvious, the child never showed. Guys, tell me why this school would be holding Mayugno's money and telling him that the money is in the system. I think Mayugno just wants people to feel sorry for him. No, he has lost money. Mayugno, you have not lost that money. Please follow up your money. Let them refund you your cash. And also, please find your child. Those are two things. So for me, all these stories that Mayugno has come with, to be very honest, they are neither here nor there. However, it is good that he is reporting to his subscribers, some of whom sent him maybe. It is good that he is reporting to them the position of things. But my thing is, the position of things can be made better. He can pursue these things further. So what I heard him say is that, he will not get the money back and he does not know where his child is. And, it ends there. No. For me, I feel like, and this is my personal opinion, I feel like he can pursue this stuff further, and he can, these are not impossibilities. What he is talking about is not impossibilities. That is all what I am saying. And to connect it to the 𝐶𝐎HRA issue. Mayugno, you should, find your daughter and have a relationship with her, lest you become like Mr. 𝐶𝐿HRA, Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA. Because now, Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA is crying, wanting. Marwa saying that Marwa is his son and all this stuff. We really don't know, because Congrats mom has never spoken about him, has never acknowledged him. Marwa himself has never come out and said clearly that, this guy, blah, blah, blah. No, none of that. So these are just assumptions. We are working on assumptions. So Mayugno, if you do not want to become like 𝐶𝐿HRA in future, whereby you are finding precious and she is looking at you and she's saying, excuse me, I only know the father that raised me. I don't know you. You never know. So it is good that you find your daughter, have a relationship with her, and yes, you have a problem with the mother and all this stuff, but find a way that you can at least even be going to school to see your daughter. You don't have to go to their home. Go to the school, be visiting her there, at break time, have a little chat, take her a little snack, something, and the relationship will continue. Otherwise, this issue of, I cannot find her, I don't know where they are, I'm appealing to the donors, like the child has been moved to Rwanda. No, the child is right there in Tanzania at the border, or maybe somewhere in Nyabohansi, somewhere you can find very quickly. It might not even take you a day. Even if it's for somebody, even if it's for the police to track, the number of this guy. Guys, you cannot tell me that you cannot find somebody just there under your nose. So even that other story, the donors took my daughter, I didn't know where she was in Tanzania. Those are stories. Hekaya za bunuasi. Stories are jabba. It is what it is, guys. Sometimes let us say things as they are. No need of cornering. So, Mayugno, once again, find your daughter lest you face the wrath that the 𝐶𝐿HRA is facing right now. Oh, yes. So guys, 𝐶𝐿HRA has come out to say that this is going to be breaking news, and it's going to remain breaking news for a very, very long time. She is saying that we are here, in her witchy voice. We are here in these streets, the YouTube streets, and we are going to be telling you, what kind of misfortunes Marwa is going to be facing, because Marwa is going to have it rough. Now he is not going to keep a wife. Now he is not going to do what? Now nothing is going to work. Guys. She is saying that this is going to happen, because Marwa has denied Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA. Guys, before Marwa denied Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA, wasn't 𝐶𝐿HRA saying that Marwa will never keep a wife? As a matter of fact, wasn't 𝐶𝐿HRA saying that Marwa will never get married? 𝐶𝐿HRA started saying that 3 years ago. So now she is waiting for Marwa to make an utterance, for Marwa to express himself, and then he starts to use that to say that now that Marwa has done this, he is never going to keep a wife, he is not going to be, good in business, he is not going to. Guys, we were here when the Land Cruiser was bought, when 𝐶𝐿HRA said that she is waiting for Marwa's downfall. Didn't she say that? Had Marwa denied Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA? So it is, it has nothing to do with Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA. This woman, 𝐶𝐿HRA has been saying that Marwa, is always having misfortunes. Marwa is jinxed. Marwa, his things don't work. This was before Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA even came into the picture, guys. Before he came to the YouTube streets, 𝐶𝐿HRA was condemning Marwa. So what does it have to do with Mzee 𝐶𝐿HRA right now? Guys, are you seeing the kind of woman this witch is? Are you seeing the kind of hypocrisy? Are you seeing that this is about content? It is just about content. 𝐶𝐿HRA, tell us why you have been saying, for the last 3 years, why you have been saying that Marwa can never succeed in business, that Marwa will never have a wife. As a matter of fact, guys, Carrots, is on record saying that Marwa is impotent. Marwa cannot have kids. And then when Marwa got Maisha, she started to say, congratulations, Marwa. And then again, a little bit later, she starts to say that the child is 𝐷𝐿𝐷. This woman is sick in the head, and thinking that now she is going to use this issue of Kohera to come and bash Marwa, and then she really has something else coming, because it is not going to work. We already know that this is about content, guys, and if indeed Carrots was real, for sure, she would not have started saying these negative things about Marwa 3 years ago. No, she wouldn't. And yes, I also want to tell Carrots, yes, we are right here on the streets, and we are going to see, Marwa succeed day by day. Nonsense. Is she the one who kept her marriage? Is she the one who was proposed to? No. She snatched and stole somebody's husband. So about relationships, she should not even be here talking. She should zip her mouth. We can tell her as it is. These shameless Carrots. Can you imagine, guys? Oh, Marwa has come out to deny Mzee Kohera. Marwa is going to see fire, misfortune after misfortune. Guys, women like Carrots, or other people like Carrots in the African society, are the ones who encourage men to be deadbeats. Oh, yes. Because there's this thing, and I've always had it. I've heard so many people say, that person should just agree, should accept the father, at the end of the day, that's his father, at the end of the day, that's his blood. And if you don't accept your father, a curse will follow you for the rest of your life. And guys, they are talking about somebody who denied this child when the child was a baby, probably even told the mother to abort the baby. The mother went ahead and gave birth to this child. The mother has struggled with this child, for the longest. Now this child grows up, with another father. Probably the mother gets married. The child grows up with another father who loves this child, who molds this child's life, shapes their character and everything, makes them who they are now, and this child becomes successful, and then somebody shows up from the woodwork, claiming, father. And now when somebody says, excuse me, I don't know you, people start to say, hey, stop that is wrong, you see, you'll have a curse. People, what curse, guys? Tell me what curse will follow somebody, So now, men, when they hear that, even those ones who have kids, 3 years, 4 years kids, people like Mapopo and I don't know who, and Mayugno now coming here with excuses, now they start to move back. They do not involve themselves in their children's lives, and because they know these children will be told by the African society that, if you don't embrace your daddy, you're going to be cursed. That's how, guys, that's how I see it. So these kinds of people like Carrots, are the ones who encourage men to become deadbeats in this African society. And it is wrong, it is sad, and in my opinion, it should not be so. Guys, I don't see how a curse will follow somebody who has expressed themselves. That is how they feel. Why do you want them to pretend? Why do you want them to force themselves? They feel they don't want anything to do with this person. They don't want anything to do with this person. It has nothing to do with, they have bad feelings towards them. It's just, you are out of my life. Please stay out of my life. What is wrong with that, guys? How does a curse follow you for that? It is your blood. So what? Where, if it was really blood, then this person should not have abandoned the child. So now a curse will follow the child, but what curse will follow the father? How about the father leaving this child for all those years? And this child undergoing a lot of hardship, a lot of stress, a lot of stigma, in some cases, a lot of, just a lot of stress, psychologically. How about that one? So now the curse doesn't find the father, the curse only finds the child. I mean, do these curses discriminate? Guys, this is all a lie. This is a hoax. And this is what makes men to become deadbeats around this society. Because these kids are going to embrace them because they are blood. Blood has nothing to do with anything. Some of these fathers never cared if these kids lived or died. So now, why should I care? In my 30s, in my 20s. And guys, the funny thing is this. Most of these papas, they only show up if the kid is successful. Show me, tell me a story of any papa in this whole entire world who showed up, to claim their child who is, a Mr. Nobody in the society. Some failure in the village who is so poor, miserable, and the papa came and said, oh my God, this is my son. I love him so much. And then fought, for his love, fought for his acknowledgement, fought for his acceptance. Tell me which one. All these stories we hear are for people who are successful, even diamond platinums. This Tanzanian's big musician, the father showed up after he became diamond platinums. How come he never showed up when he was nothing? �𝐔𝐽 only showed up because Marwa is I am Marwa. Guys, and we have a lot of many stories around the world. As a matter of fact, here in Kenya, there is this bishop, her name is Bishop Margaret Wanjiru, this lady bishop, and she was the leader of the church. Her church was called 𝐵𝐵, Jesus is Alive Ministries. And I remember she wanted to get married to her South African sweetheart, who was also, a bishop, in South Africa. So they met, and of course they fell in love. This guy was a senior bachelor, and she was, a spinster, but she had big kids. Her kids were already, I think in their 20s at the time. This is a few years back. And so when they announced, guys, please listen to this. When they announced their engagement, in her church, all hell broke loose. The father of these boys, because she has two boys, two men now. The father showed up. Some old, he may not have been that old, but he was looking old because he was looking raggedy, old, miserable, looking like his... Guys, he was looking bad. So some dude showed up, called the media and started to say, oh, that woman cannot get married with my children. I don't want that. I cannot accept that. Can you imagine, guys? And he himself was married. In fact, had, I think, 2 wives. And I don't know how many kids. But she quickly wants to stop this upcoming wedding of his ex, who they separated over 20 years ago, or rather 15 years ago, whatever. They separated for that long. He wants to stop her marriage, reason being, I cannot let her take my children away from me. Nonsense stuff. I remember those boys, looking so good. One, in fact, that is when we knew who her children were. One was, I think, a lawyer, studied in the UK. The other, I think, a doctor, studied I don't know where. Hey, they have done their PhD. They were looking sharp. They were looking smart, intelligent. Single mother raised, and now they came on camera and they said, hey, we don't care who our father is. At what? At the father. Where was he? We don't know him. And I remember, messages pouring, Kenyans coming out to say, oh, you boys, you're so successful, but now you have cast yourselves. You are a doctor and you're a lawyer. You guys are going to have it rough in life. How dare you deny your father right in front of the camera? These boys have said, we don't know who our father is. We don't know and we don't care at this point. That is all they said. And they said they don't want to be involved with anybody coming to, I don't know what. And they said they are in support of their mother getting married to whomever she wants. Their mother has suffered with them for way too long, and their mother needs to be happy. That's what they said. And to cut the long story short, my point is people have this thing of, caste, I don't know what. How about the torture, these kids go through? Is anybody going to save them from this? Can they ever recover? Why is it that people only look at one side? There is nothing like that. If you ask me, if Marwa has come out and said, this is the father I know, I don't see anything wrong. For real, guys, I do not. And if that is where he has chosen to place, his loyalty, then so be it. Coming out here to say that, this papa, Mzee Ondari mistreated Marwa, hung him upside down, blah, blah, blah. Marwa has clearly come out to say, what? I had a hard childhood, my father was very strict, he was a disciplinarian, but he has shaped me to be whom I am today. And to be very honest, guys, in many African homes, like disciplining a child, using the rod, is not something big. Even the good book says, or rather, there's a saying that says, spare the rod, spoil the child. So in many African homes, kids used to get these kinds of discipline, which now, especially in the West, is called child abuse, or is it, I don't know, whatever. But guys, this thing that people call, some of these things that people call child abuse, not everything, guys, of course, don't get me wrong. But this little discipline that these African parents, used to give us, they have made us better people in society. Other people would have been in very bad kinds of situations, character-wise. So I believe that sometimes this discipline is very, very necessary. So for Marwa, he is looking at it as discipline. He's not looking at it like child abuse. He was abused as a child. Hey, people come out with stuff. Especially in the West. I was abused. And if you ask them very well, the mother just slapped them once. And this is your mom, Guys, to be very honest, if a child comes out and says, because if Marwa truly felt that this what Mzee Ondari used to do to him was really mistreatment, I don't think he would have embraced him, and acknowledge him the way he does. And something else, guys, when Carrots comes out here to say Marwa has denied his father, how sure are you, Carrots, that Mzee Kohera is Marwa's father? How sure are you? Just because he came out and said, and just because he lived with Esther, are you sure? I remember when I was talking about, I don't know what I was reacting on a few weeks ago. Somebody wrote in my comment section that he raised a child for 18 years and something happened between him and his wife. And when he went for a DNA test, he found out that this child was not his. So please, give me a break, Carrots. Just because Mzee Kohara lived with Esther and just because Kohara came and said, blah, blah, SHIT does not mean the child is biologically his. So, Carrots, you have to prove to me first that you know what you're talking about. Get a life.
So actually, the breaking news right now is that Marwa has denied Kohara as his dad. And this is going to be breaking news for the next, I don't know how many days. Now, this is going also to be very controversial. Not for us reactors, not for the listeners, not for subscribers, not for anyone else, but for their own family, for their own unfunctional family. It is so sad. Hello, mothers in the house. It is so sad that this is happening. Six. A full-grown man will come out and deny his own biological dad in front of the whole world. Hello? Where are this? Where did this happen? And the cases will keep on dropping and dropping. The cases will keep on dropping. Women will be coming and going. Projects will be dropping and dropping until when Marwa will learn to turn his words inside. Until the day he will understand that blood is blood. Otherwise, we're still on the streets. We're still on these streets. We're not going anywhere. And YouTube is here to stay. Hello. YouTube is here to stay. And we'll be checking all these things because Marwa thinks everything is for YouTube, guys, but everything is not for YouTube. Everything is not for YouTube. And it's not that he's the only person who came from this broken family, if I may call it broken, maybe. But again, we have so many people, even some of us that we came from similar situations. You can't deny your parent just because he never took care of you. You can't deny your mother. You can't deny your biological dad. You cannot deny your own blood just because he was never there for you. Blood is blood.
So guys, Carrots is out there lying, talking about these things as though she was there. Carrots, were you there in this bomber, in this family? You are talking as though you are right there. Guys, it is a shame. Carrots cannot come out here and start to convince us things that Mzee Kohara himself, said otherwise. Now, Carrots is the one who is coming to set the record straight. Things that even Kohara himself has not said, but Carrots wants to come out here and convince the world. Carrots, you're doing a very shoddy job. You are trying to make Marwa look bad in this instance, but you're making yourself look very, very bad. Carrots, why are you there? That's the question I want to ask you. Guys, this woman is coming out to say that, every time that Kohara tried to go and check on Marwa or pick Marwa, or get Marwa, whatever it is, that Madam Esther always called the cops on him. Guys, Kohara himself said that his father told him not to follow a woman, not to cause bloodshed because of a woman. Guys, so now where is Carrots getting this story from? Kohara himself did not say that Esther called the cops on him when he tried to, be in Marwa's life. No. Guys, we have watched Kohara's videos from video number 1, especially the times that he used to come out here and talk about how mother, Esther, Marwa's mother left, with Marwa and Winnie, and all those videos, those very first videos, all of them we watched and we reacted on them. So we know what Mzee Kohara said and what he did not say. And one thing I can also say is that Mr. Kohara, contradicted himself a lot. especially this story of how Madam Esther left. He said that Madam Esther left because she was incited by people, the neighbors, blah, blah, blah. Another time he came and said that she left because he was very poor, and stuff like that. Another time he came and said that she left because Mr. Ondari came and took her. So this man, Cohera himself, was not sure of what he was saying. He just came out here to make stories, and each time he could come up with a different version. We were here, we reacted on those stories. So if Cohera himself doesn't know what he's talking about, how can Carrots know anything? Carrots, you cannot come out here and start convincing people about somebody's life, and that person, that's not what they're saying. They're saying something totally different. Guys, the other day, Cohera spoke about Esther bringing cops, but it was not, the cops were not brought to him because he was trying to have Marwa in his life. No, it was something else. So, Carrots, you are failing miserably. You are trying to connect those two stories, but they cannot work. The fact of the matter is, Mzee Cohera never followed up, never wanted to be in his son's life. And of course, he was listening to stories like what you're talking about. People coming out to say, your child must look for you. And if he does not, he's going to be cast because your blood. No. No way. It does not work like that. These curses go both ways. Even Mzee can be cursed. The ancestors or the gods or whoever is cursing, can curse both sides. Curses do not apply, selectively. This guy did not take care of his son. This guy was not in his life. This guy let his child suffer. This guy, whatever happened to Marwa actually is his fault. And I'm saying this, that's if, underline if, he is the father. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Oh yes, and Madam Esther has never even come to even speak or even hint anything about this Mzee Cohera. So it is a big damn shame, for Mzee to come out here, try to force himself into a successful person's life, wanting help. Remember, guys, the very first time Mzee Cohera came, he came with stories of wanting school fees, wanting a toilet, wanting a house, hinting about wanting these things, So that is the reason he came back to his child's life. Nothing else, guys. And we have heard so many of these stories. I think there's one of the American celebrities I was reading a while back, whose father came, and the first time he came to her life, he asked her for money. And she was so disappointed because she was happy that the father had finally come, to look for her and stuff like that. But the only reason he came back was to ask her for, and it was a lot of money. He was in debt, he was in problems, something was going wrong in his life, and he decided to look for his daughter, who is a celebrity, so that he can get money from her. And that is, when I read that, I was so heartbroken. And I remember, also watching this part. I don't remember who it was, watching the video, and, I just saw her breaking down, she's really been longing to have the father in her life, but the father never ever acknowledged her and stuff like that. And the only time he showed up, he wanted some moolah. So guys, that is exactly, what Cohera also wanted, to benefit from Marwa, nothing else. So Carrots, these cases that you're talking about, first of all, before they catch Marwa, they will have to catch Cohera well. Oh yes. Guys, the father of Cohera, according to Cohera, told him not to follow a woman, not to shed blood because of a woman. So now, it is what it is. Guys, if Cohera really wanted, to see Marwa, guys, and the funny thing is that they all live in Kuria. One family lives in Kuria West, the other one in Kuria East. You know, they said it was 2 hours away. You know, Kohera could not go 2 hours to look for his son or just to have a relationship with him. You know,
My dad. What is wrong with that? So MORAA goes on and calling his own father. What did he say again, guys? Calling his own father names on YouTube.
It doesn't matter.
Can't.
That is the man who raised me to be a man who I am today. The rest of you are just hula baloo, shenanigans.
Hula balusha.
And I will never, even on my dead body, I will never recognize anyone as my dad, apart from Mzee or I. Yes, we had our own issues when we were growing up. Like me, I grew up very tough, in very tough environment, very serious beatings here and there. But that does not make me hate a man. The way kids are raised in Africa is very different from the way kids are raised in the West.
and guys, when somebody comes out to say that, you know, Marwa really suffered, Kohera was right, Marwa has said it, that he had a hard childhood, you know, and Kohera also said the same, that actually makes Kohera look very bad. Because that means Kohera actually knew that his son, you know, in quotes, guys, his son was undergoing a lot of hardship and he did nothing about it. Imagine you knowing that your child is going through a rough time. He's being beaten up, you know, hung upside down, like Kohera was saying. You know all this. You know that your child can easily be unalived, and yet you do nothing. And then you come out here to condemn Mzee for doing that, and yet you did nothing to stop it. Mzee Kohera, are you serious? Carrots, are you serious defending such a person? You know, this person is the same. Fine, guys, even if I was to agree, let me agree that this other father did wrong, then the Kohera was also an accomplice. Both of them did it because he watched as it was being done to his son. So Mzee Kohera, you're not innocent. You cannot come out here and claim, you know, to be the Mr. Nice Mzee. You are not. You are not. In fact, if truly this is blood, the way Carrots you say, and Mzee Kohera also wants to put it, you know, you guys think of it as blood. He is the one who should have acted quicker and faster, you know, because this boy is his blood. You know, you don't expect the other father to feel anything because it is not blood. Guys, let us talk about blood because that is where they are bringing this whole thing, you know. If indeed it is about that, then guys, Mzee Kohera is the one who would have been out there up in arms to the police stations, going to the chiefs, going to the elders, doing everything, saying, no, my child is being mistreated. I cannot have this. Somebody save him for me. He could have been doing that, but since he didn't, it is worse. Oh, yes, it is what it is.
At this age and time, there is someone in this whole world, there is someone sitting somewhere and saying these such words on YouTube, especially when he knows that he's sharing international viewers, subscribers, who are not even close to his family. Diabolical.
Marwa. Yes, this thing about my dad and who is my dad, who is this, I just want to set the record straight. Even if it turns out you are my dad, whatever is claiming to be my dad, personally, me as Marwa, and I'm speaking with a sober, intact mind, sorry, I do not recognize you. I recognize Mzee Ondari as my only solid dad, either biological or not. It doesn't matter. That is the man who raised me to be a man who I am today. The rest of you are just hula baloo, shenanigans.
This statement is going to stay here for a very long time because, guys, you know what? It's just a matter of time. We will be back to collect what Marwa has said.
So guys, Carrots comes out here and tries to manipulate people's emotions, trying to play with people's emotions. Oh, my son was asking me, how come I have eye issues? And I told him that that comes from my mother's side. And then, she goes on to say that, even her, herself, she was not taken care of by both parents. She was only taken care of by her father, and that these eye issues come from her mother's side. And so she was getting emotional, talking about how, this eye thing, people used to mock her and say, you're half blind and all these things. And so she was getting emotional, remembering this stuff, recounting how people, made fun of her about her eyes. And guys, I am thinking, isn't this the same woman who comes out to call Marwa one-eyed man? Isn't she the same woman who comes out here to show Marwa without his glasses, and she does that and puts these pictures in an angle where Marwa's eye looks funny. And that is her point, that is her aim. Her goal is to make Marwa look bad, and also to mock his disability, and to, just everything about Marwa's eye. Carrots is the only reactor who likes to put Marwa, without his glasses, as a thumbnail. And she does that for a reason. She does not get the good pictures, because Marwa looks okay. Guys, to be very honest, even without his glasses, Marwa looks okay. But guys, if you want to find a very funny angle, even right now as I'm talking like this, if you take a screenshot and find a funny angle of how I look weird or funny, or, my mouth looks combo, or my nose looks, I don't know how, you can find it. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. She does not put these thumbnails, in good way, in good faith. It is about mocking Marwa. She is the one who always comes out here to mock Marwa about his one eye, an eye that clearly got hurt. He was not born with this disability. And guys, I am on record. I have said this many times. For those who've been following me, I have come out to say that Carrots, you're out of order. I've called her out numerous times because of this. Calling Marwa mono eye, calling Marwa I don't know what eye, just all sorts of crazy stuff. She makes fun of Marwa's eye a lot. So Carrots, you are so stupid. You are trying to lie to people. You're trying to make people feel sorry for you. The people mocked you about your eye. How about, how you mock Marwa? I don't think anybody has ever mocked this woman, because if you know the pain of somebody mocking your disability, you cannot be doing it to somebody else. What kind of nonsense is this? Pretender, crocodile tears, emotional what? Shameless woman. Talking about people all around the world, most people or some people or a fraction of people are seeking for their identities, looking for their would-be fathers and all these people. That is okay, but that is those people. But Marwa is comfortable with the identity that he has got. He is called Frederick Ondari Marwa. So he already has the identity that he feels comfortable with, that he thinks he needs. So why would he be seeking for something else? Do I make sense, guys? Why would he be seeking for something else? He is comfortable. Somebody cannot come to disrupt your life, guys. You already have your life going. You are doing your thing. Somebody just comes from nowhere to disrupt your life and wants to include themselves in your life by force, yet they were never there. They let you suffer. They didn't care. They never loved you. I mean, this guy could have even gone to see this kid at school. Nothing somebody's telling me. No way. This guy never cared. So he still doesn't care, guys. He still does not care. And for all I know, we are not sure, And Marwa also is not sure if this is his papa. Yeah. So guys, that's all I can say. I don't know what you all think. I know that some of you, especially the Africans, who believe in this, oh, your father will curse you thing. I know you have a contrary opinion, which is okay, guys. It is very fine. Please just drop it down in the comment section. Tell me why you think Marwa can be cursed. Why a curse would, catch Marwa, and yet, He has no mistake. He is just expressing himself. He is saying, I don't need this person. I do not recognize him. I do not know him. You know? And he has acknowledged whomever he has acknowledged. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Let us have this discussion, guys. You know, the stories are out on the internet. Yes, we know this is a sensitive topic, but it is out here, guys. The story is out here with us. We never brought it. We never looked for it. It has found us right here on the streets. And so we are doing what we do best, which is to analyze, criticize, and react on videos that have been put out on the YouTube space. So please let me know your thoughts, your sentiments down in the comments section. And if you have not liked this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, you are missing out. Join this amazing family, and let us meet in the next video. Bye guys.
I educate, put things straight, that's my fate. Truth teller, reality checker. Truth teller, I'm your protector from the lies and the fake narrative. Truth is what I got to give. Speak the truth, speak the truth. Speak it to set you free. Speak the truth, speak the truth. It's MORAA, your African daughter. Don't pay